I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, today we're reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 27, and let's focus on verses 9 through 11. But as for you, do not listen to your prophets, your diviners, your dreamers, your fortune tellers, or your sorcerers who say to you, don't serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy a lie to you, so that you will be removed from your land. I will banish you, and you will perish. But as for the nation that will put its neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon and serve him, I will leave it in its own land, and that nation will till it and reside in it. This is the Lord's declaration. Now, false prophets are still alive and well in our culture, sadly. There will be false prophets masquerading among us all the way up to the Messiah's second coming. And by perverting God's word and denying its authority, false prophets establish their own word from God. Of course, it's not from God at all, but they do this by establishing themselves as if they are the sole experts of their own messianic theme, false religion. This is nothing new. 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. But there were also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. And they will secretly bring in destructive heresies, even denying the master who bought them, and will bring swift destruction on themselves. Many will follow their unrestrained ways, because it feels like freedom. And because of them, the way of truth will be blasphemed. See, truth to them feels like restriction. Their condemnation, pronounced long ago, is not idle, and their destruction does not sleep. So since Judah had followed the counsel of false prophets and rejected God's word, the Lord allowed Nebuchadnezzar to rule over them. And this is so they could know the difference between the yoke of the Lord and that of a pagan ruler. Jeremiah 27, verses 5 through 7. But my great strength and outstretched arm, by my great strength and outstretched arm, I have made the earth and the people and the animals on the face of the earth. I give it to anyone I please. So now I have placed all these lands under the authority of my servant Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. I have given him the wild animals to serve him. All the nations will serve him, his son and his grandson, until the time of his own land comes. That is, destruction's coming for Babylon someday. And then many nations and great kings will enslave him. Knowing this era of Israel's history brings context to Jesus' statement in Matthew 11, verses 25 through 30. At that time, Jesus said, I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and the learned and revealed them to infants. Yes, Father, because it was your good pleasure. All things have been entrusted to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son desires to reveal him. Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. All of you take up my yoke and learn from me, because I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Serving God's anointed one leads to peace and deliverance. God chose Nebuchadnezzar to rule for a season in order to rebuke the people of Israel. But Jesus is the good shepherd. And not only is he the good shepherd, but he is the Lord for all eternity, not temporarily. And so whose yoke would you prefer? The yoke of Jesus? My yoke is easy, my burden is light. Or would you still like to have the yoke of the world, which is just dragging you down? I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And yes, we need your monthly support. Donating is secure, and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. You know, another way to help is just tell people about Groundworks Ministries. Share these podcasts with friends and family and on your social media. And of course, You can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.